Hey guys, how is everyone today? I am a bit sweaty actually. It is a hot day and I have just lost the post that I was looking at in the group with the questions. Where did they go? Hang on a minute, let me find it again. So I hope you guys have been having a really great day so far. I have actually just been for an ultrasound this morning to have the 12-week morphology pregnancy checkup scan, which is basically just checking for abnormalities like Down syndrome or spina bifida and things like that, but everything is fine, as I knew that it would be. So manifesting a perfectly healthy baby, and I actually did just put some photos up. Hey guys, hey Ree, hey Amy. I actually just put some photos up over on my profile in case anyone wanted to go have a look at the little squirmy worm, of which it completely is. The whole time they were, the ultrasound lady was like trying to get measurements and pictures of the baby's face and different angles and things. It was just moving the entire time, like it didn't even stop. It was just like bouncing around and flipping and changing directions and going upside down. And so she's like, oh, you're going to have fun with this one. Yeah, so that's exciting. A very active little bouncy bean. Okay, so I wanted to talk about, I did ask this morning, like if anyone had any specific topics that they needed help with, and a few people did ask some. So I'm going to just start with, which one will I start with? I'll start at the top and work my way down, shall I? And if anyone has any questions while you're watching, please ask. I am here for the next 30-ish minutes to help you with whatever it is that you need help with, or if you have any random questions about life, the universe and everything, throw them at me. Obviously I can only answer things if I know the answer, but I'm just checking I didn't miss anything. Cool. Awesome. So hello Elise, hello Cherish, hi Michelle. Awesome. So the first one that I had and that I wanted to talk about, Stella Moore, if you're watching, hey Stella, or if you're watching the replay, say hey. She has said, I'm having trouble marketing a product within my business. And so firstly I had to ask her, well, what is the actual product? Because, you know, it's a little bit vague. Marketing products though, like in a general sense, before I even know what it is, always comes down to how well, like, do people actually want it? Always comes down to that. It's really easy to sell things if people actually want them, or how like passionate and enthusiastic are you about it and how it can change people's lives or what it can do for people. Because if you are like obsessed with it and using it yourself and you like couldn't live without it, and same with your team, then it's so easy to recommend to people. Whereas if there's any doubt or skepticism or hesitancy on your end when talking about the product, then the energetic connection there is going to like create resistance between people buying it because they can feel that you're not completely sold on it. So, Elise had a question. I will come back to that one, Elise. Thank you for asking. But she did say it was a product. She owns a car detailing business, and the product is a paint protection. So I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, I don't know this industry very well, but I know that when I've gone to like buy a car as an example and they've offered me paint protection, like sometimes people are really confident with like, you need this because otherwise this can happen and this can happen and this can happen. And you know, people that don't get it, these are the risks that they face, whereas people that do get it, these are the amazing things that will happen. Like if you really sell it based on what it's going to do for me and how it's going to benefit me in my life and my car, then of course I'm going to take it. Whereas if you kind of just like, there's been some people when I've bought a car or whatever where they're like, do you want the paint protection? Like that's it. And I'm like, well, do I need it? And they're like, no, it's an optional extra. So of course I'm going to say no. It's like when people ask you if you want extra insurance on top of things, but it's like really, you know, not going to make that much of a difference. So that would be the first thing I'd be looking at when selling any product. Do people really need it? Do they really want it? Do you really believe that it's going to benefit them like so much? And if so, you need to express that to them. They need to feel your enthusiasm for how great it's going to be for them and their purchase. So like you know, when I used to sell hair extensions, as an example, I'd be like, you should really buy this shampoo because you're going to get such longer life out of the hair extensions, and it's going to be so much easier to manage if you use this particular shampoo that we sell. However, if you go and use your own shampoo, if you use supermarket shampoo, we cannot guarantee that your hair is going to last as long as it should be. You may end up needing to spend more money sooner to get a new set. They may end up tangled and knotted, etc., etc. So it's like, this is the benefits of buying this product. This, you'll get such better life out of your original purchase by using it, and if you don't use it, these are the risks that you face. And so then, you know, it's up to them the decision they want to make, but you've pretty much sold them on making the decision to buy the extra thing. Love to know if that makes sense. And if anyone has any other suggestions or would like to share anything around that, please comment, let me know. Bronwyn just has, she said, yes, totally agree. People definitely feel your insecurities about a service or product. Write a list of all the ways your product and service can benefit them and all the evidence you have seen. Absolutely. And write a list, I suggest, on what's going to happen or what could happen if they don't use it, or if they choose something else. You know, and tell them that. Be honest with them. Like, if you have their best interests at heart, at all times, then you should be able to be open and honest with them and not just try and sell them on the benefits, but also say, well, look, if you don't use this, then this could happen. You know, and you're not trying to trick them or manipulate them. It's just truthfulness. And people will respect you more from that. And like, I'd also tell people with the shampoo, I'm like, look, you don't have to buy it. I'm not going to force you to, but if you don't, this is what could happen. And if you do, this is what will happen, right? So you always still want to make it feel like it's their choice, because when people feel pressure, they will run away. So it's really, really important to remember that. And hello to everybody who just joined during my rant just then. Veronica, Olivia, Nicole, Kayleen, Alicia, Priyanka, Julie, hey. Awesome. So that was my suggestion for selling product. The next one was, I liked this one. I think this is really important. Well, I've always taken this really seriously in every one of my businesses. And it was from Heather. Let me know if you're watching, Heather. Heather Cosima. She said, do you have a #1 tip for becoming a trusted brand or business? And I think this is really important, because I don't think enough people really think about this. They think about getting clients, they think about getting money, and things like that in business, but they don't really sit down and think about, well, how can I be more credible? How can I be more trustworthy? However, that's a really important part of people wanting to do business with you. If you are not like a credible, trustworthy brand, then people aren't going to trust you, and so they'll be resistant or hesitant to doing business with you, and it can actually turn a lot of people off. So my #1 suggestion for becoming a credible, trustworthy business is to, first of all, be really fucking good at what you do, like so good. Oh, hi Kathleen, I'll read your comment in a second. Really, really good at what you do, and so good at the customer experience, not just the service, but the way that you make people feel when they do business with you, that they can't help but to tell other people how amazing you are. They leave you positive reviews, they refer people, they tag you in their posts on Instagram and that kind of thing. And then the way to get the best like credibility and trustworthiness is to use what other people say about you. So you can't prove that you're a trustworthy person, really. It's what other people say about you that gives you the credibility and the trustworthiness. So if you have ever had anything like been nominated for an award, won an award, you have lots of testimonials on your Facebook page, you have people tagging you in selfies on Instagram, you should be featuring all of that shit, all of it on your website. You need to actually show it off. And I've had this conversation with people sometimes where they're like, oh, but I don't want to be like, feel like I'm too like braggy on myself, or you know, like I'm full of myself. And it's like, you're not. You're actually showing people what other people are saying about you to give them trust in you as a service provider, so that they can get the results that they want from you. And the more trustworthy you are, the more people are going to choose to do business with you versus all the other people that are not sharing their testimonials and not sharing customer results and not sharing what real people are saying about them. Because if you are just like, if your website's just full of like photos that you've taken off Google or stock photos, and like it's all information that you've written, but there's no actual like what anyone else is saying about you, or the results that other people have gotten from you, or like real photos or real videos or real people, then, you know, you're missing out, basically. You really should be, like, anytime someone says anything good about you, you should be screenshotting that, saving it, sharing it with the world. I actually have a page on my website. You feel free to go and have a look at it after this. If you go to carissahill.com.au, there is a page up the top in the menu link that says success stories. And it takes you a fucking long time to scroll down that page, because almost, probably not every single one, we do miss some, but almost every single like positive screenshot or testimonial I've had from a client over the last few years is on that page. Like, we literally screenshot and save all of them, and we stick them all on there. So if people want to see the results that I've gotten, or that my programs have gotten for my clients, they can go onto success stories and scroll for literally like minutes. And probably not read all of them because there's so many on there, but you should definitely be doing the same thing. And so when I had, and of course though, when you first start out, so I will mention this, if you're just first starting out and you don't have any testimonials and anything yet, when I first started out as a coach, the only credibility I had was telling my own story based on what I had done in my beauty salons. I hadn't helped anyone else to get results yet though. So I was a bit like, I don't even know if I can. I was really doubting myself when I first started out. I was like, what if what works for me doesn't work for anyone else? You know, there was all of those fears that came out. And so I actually started coaching people for free. Bronwyn said, I'm going to do this. Excellent. Yes, everybody should do it. And do it with pride. Don't do it with, oh, I'm showing off. Do it with like, look what the results that I've gotten, people. Look what I can do for you. This is amazing. Like, have fun with it. Be proud of it. But yeah, I actually started coaching for free when I started my coaching business, just so I could prove to myself that I could help people, and also in exchange for feedback and testimonials, because I knew how important they were. So if you are just starting out for free and you have no reviews, no testimonial, sorry, not starting out for free, just starting out, it's totally fine to do some work for free, to want to prove to yourself that you're good at what you do, to prove to other people that you're good at what you do, and ask people for testimonials in exchange for free things. And I did the exact same thing in my tanning business. I did free tans for the first week, not very long. I started charging pretty quickly, but I did free tans for the first week, like maybe the first 5 or 7 clients or something, just so I could build confidence in myself that I could do it, and so that I could get some good feedback from those people and then use it on my website. So Kath said, do you ask people before you use their testimonials, or do you take it as a given they'll be happy for them to be used? It depends. I sometimes ask people if they're a little bit personal. Sometimes we just blank out people's last names. If they put them publicly on your page, like if it's an actual 5-star review on your page, then it's public anyway, so you can just share that publicly anyway. So it's totally up to you. My clients usually know that I screenshot and share results because they see me doing it all the time. If any are really personal, I will ask people, but usually I'm just like, look how amazing this person is, and I'm showing them off. And I actually did the same thing when I had my salons a lot. I didn't make it, and this is the thing though, I didn't make it all about me and the results that people were getting from seeing me. I made it about how amazing it was for them. So as an example, who just joined? We've had Nikki Smith just joined, Kath Lee. So Kath, if you had to come to me and got eyelash extensions as an example at my salon, and then you went and took a really sexy selfie on Instagram, and maybe you tagged me in it because you're like, oh, I just look at my new lashes from blah, blah, blah. I would reply to that and be like, hey babe, you look so amazing. This is awesome. Can I share this on our Facebook page, or can I share this on our Instagram page and tag you in it? And they'd be like, of course you can. Like, I've rarely had anyone say no. Actually no one ever have really told me no. They've told me like, I don't want it shared if it has my name in it. But like, no one's ever said no. So just ask. And where was I going with that? Yeah, so you're making it more about like the results that people are getting from you and sharing them, and the results that they're getting, more than you're making it all about, look how good me and my business is, if that kind of makes sense. Because it's very important to remember that the business exists to serve the customer, and the customer's coming to the business to get the result that they want for themselves. So the more you keep your marketing focused on the result that you can get from people, hi Peter, and the results that you're getting for other people, the more people will want to come to you to get those results for themselves as well. Please let me know if that makes sense. If you just joined, you must watch the replay to hear that little rant. And I need to just log back into my laptop to find what the next question is, because I lost it. Actually, I wanted to just scroll back up and see what these comments were. Kathleen said, you asked, oh no, I read that one already. There was one that I missed by Kathleen. Hey, I'm obsessed with your advice, Carissa. It has already helped me so much. I love the Wolfpack Mastermind. Oh, I love you too, Kathleen. Kathleen's doing so good in the Wolfpack. It's crazy. Bronwyn, oh, I think I read that already. Yes. What was the other question? Elise, are you still here, Elise? Question, how do you make clients from a few months or years ago come back as the relationship isn't there anymore? That's a really good question, and I think someone else asked something similar to that, so that's a good one. I'll talk about that now. First thing is, you can't make people come back. You can't make people do anything. Very important to remember that. If they have already decided that they're never coming back to you for whatever reason, then that's their decision and you can't force them to return. You can offer them something which, if they like it, they may return, but usually after that amount of time, I would not go straight into just offering them something. I would work on building that relationship back up again before you do. Exactly what you just said, as the relationship isn't there anymore. So Elise, if that was me, I would probably, and like I've done this before in the past where maybe I had like a database of people that I hadn't contacted in like so long, like over a year, maybe more. I've been posting on social media, but maybe they hadn't seen it for whatever reason. And I wanted to reach out to these people and see how they were, to see if they were still interested in having any help from me. The first thing that I would start with was actually an apology. So that it's such a good, like an icebreaker, because they're not expecting that. It's really vulnerable on your part, which makes them trust you and like you a little bit more when you open up and are vulnerable. But I sent out an email saying, hey, Elise, look, I'm really sorry that I haven't been in touch with you over the last couple of years. I do think about you frequently, and you've popped into my mind several times over the last few years. I remember how you used to come in for this service, or how we used to do this for you. And I just wanted to apologize for not reaching out sooner. I guess I just assumed, like, you know, I've been busy and I assumed that maybe you got busy or changed your mind. But I just wanted to reach out and see how you're going, and if there's anything I can help you with. If someone wants to write exactly what I said down, that would be helpful, because it just comes out of my mouth. But you could definitely try sending something like that and see how that would feel for you. Hi, Desiree. See how that would feel for you as a client if you hadn't returned to a business or done business with someone in years. You know, if they just sent you an offer straight away to come in and get something, and there's that no relationship, no emotional connection there, of course you're more likely to just dismiss it and be like, whatever, I don't care about you anymore. But if you got like a personal apology from them for not reaching out and telling them that they are still thinking about you quite frequently and that they actually really care about you, changes everything. So that is definitely what I would be doing. You can type up the one email, of course, like to save time. You don't need to send it out to every single person individually if there's a lot of them. If there's not a lot of people, I might put in the effort to do it personally, but you could definitely send the one email out to like a bunch of people that haven't been in over a year or something, and still write it though as if you're talking to that one person. You probably just wouldn't mention the exact service that they had if you were going to do it that way. But I've always found that in order to build relationships with old clients that haven't been in for a while and get them back in, the best way is not to really offer them anything. It's to reach out personally, let them know you've been thinking about them, and see how they are. you can then offer them something if you want to, but you always just got to accept the fact too that like some people just move on, and they may have changed, they may have moved, they may have changed as a person, they may not be interested in what they once were, they may have had financial difficulties and like gone from full body waxing back to shaving because they just can't afford it anymore or something like that. But if you don't ask to find out, then you'll never know. Cool. I think we had one more, unless anyone else has a question. Oh, Lita, are you there, Lita? Or if you're watching the replay, let me know. Best way to start on Facebook without money to get a following, because I have no capital startup. And I was like, ooh, well, I have made a video similar to this a couple of years ago, I don't know. It's on YouTube and it's called 10 Ways to Grow Your Business Without Spending Any Money on Advertising. But on Facebook specifically, that one did mention a lot of different things, not just Facebook, but on Facebook specifically, if I was starting on Facebook right now and I had no money at all, the first thing that I thought of, and it does depend on your industry, but the first thing that I thought of would be to like become a known member in a community, like in a group or something like that. So if you're in a local, like a town, and they have like a mums and bubs group or something. Oh, hi Angela, oh, thank you. I'm actually just really sweaty. It's really hot today. I've got my windows open. I'm hoping no bugs fly in. Where was I at? Yeah, so if there's local groups that you can kind of like establish yourself as a little bit of like an expert in that group on what you do, that's a really good place to start. If you don't, or you can start your own group as well, but definitely adding value to a lot of people's lives and being really active is a good way to kind of for people to start remembering who you are and your name. Definitely have a page as well, and you can share things from your page into Facebook groups, but always if you're posting in groups and you want to establish yourself as a known person or owner of a business in a group, you don't want to act as though you are a business in that group, because that's a very fast way to get removed or blocked or be seen as very spammy. If you're going to be using Facebook groups, you want to be very much yourself, a person. You want to interact, you want to connect, you want to relate to people. You don't want to go in there with the intention of just trying to get clients, or you will not get clients. You have to be a friend first before people will trust you enough to, or like you enough to give you money. Hey Amanda. Oh, glossy and glowy, thank you. Oh, Elisa's asked another one. I'll come back to that in a sec. But definitely groups. What else was I thinking of? I was thinking of personal page as well. Like you can use your personal profile and kind of create like I guess like an influencer type brand around yourself, like just adding people as friends and allowing people to kind of get to know you as a person and what you do and what your business does that way. You've just got to be careful with that, because Facebook doesn't like you directly advertising anything on a profile, but it's totally possible. Totally possible. Hi Michael. But yeah, if I was starting from scratch now, I would probably start by, and also networking. So if you, and what I mean by networking is like building relationships and creating friendships with people who already have an audience. And so if you, like, if someone was to want to promote their business to you guys as an example, and I've got this Facebook group with 16,000 people in it, I would not just let anyone come into my group and do a video with me or an interview with me or share, like promote their stuff in my group, because I wouldn't, like, I don't know you, so I don't trust you, so I won't like allow that. However, if that person has connected with me and sent me a message and said, hey Carissa, I really like what you're doing, I followed your stuff, I've been in your group for ages, I just wanted to let you know that, and I wanted to reach out, this is what I do, it's really nice to meet you. But it's not first of all going into hey, can I share my shit in your group? It's like, I want to connect with you and become a friend of yours. And then after you've kind of had a couple of conversations and interactions with that person, then you could maybe say something like, hey, look, I've got this really amazing offer or something at the moment. I'd be really interested in sharing it with your people. Would that be okay? Like, can I have your permission to do that? Or would you even share it for me? And depending on if I liked that person and that whatever it is that they're selling, because of course I wouldn't just do it for anyone. And I really feel like it would benefit my people in my group, then yeah, all in. I'm totally happy to do that. And there's so many other people that do that too. So you can definitely like become a person of influence from starting with nothing, just by putting in the time and effort. You have to put in time and effort when you're first starting out to build connections or relationships with people who already have an established audience, or networking with other business owners in your area who your products or services complement each other, and then you can cross promote and use their audience to build your audience, etc., etc. Let me know if that makes sense. And then when you start to get clients and start to make money, then I definitely would be reinvesting a small percentage of that into advertising, because it is the fastest way to grow. Trying to do everything for free all the time is exhausting and time consuming. Hi Angela, oh thank you. And Angela said, can you please say thank you Angela again? It makes it real and uber professional. You're my first live. I'm here, you talk direct to me. What a cool experience. Social geek hashtag. That's cool. Oh well, thank you for commenting. I actually love when people comment, because then it feels like people, like we're having a conversation. It's not just me talking at a camera as well, and that's what I like about live videos so much. You know, otherwise you may as well just pre-record them, but lives are so much more fun. Elise, okay, if you're still there, I'm just getting back to your other comment. Do you ever send out surveys to find out how they enjoy their service, and would you limit it to people from the last 12 months or any time frame? Oh, that's a good one. So yes, to surveys. Inside the Wolfpack Mastermind, we actually have a happiness survey, which our clients can use to send out to their clients, which you can send out to anyone, no matter how long they've been in for. That's like a custom template that you can use. But what I used to do, that was a very, very simple way of doing this back when I had my salons as well, and also in the Wolfpack Mastermind and the education business that I have now, is we just have an automated email in our sequence, so that when someone's come in for their appointment, it could be just the first appointment, it could be every appointment, it depends on the settings that you have or the purchase that they've made. There is an email that goes out a couple of days after their appointment, or like if they've ordered something and it should be expected to be delivered within 10 days, you could have it going out after 12 days or something like that. You can automate it, and it just says, hey Elise, just wanted to find out like how you felt about your appointment or purchase or whatever the other day. I personally, as a client, I don't like taking surveys. I would much prefer to just quickly reply to an email. So I always base what my clients would prefer to do based on what I prefer to do, because my ideal clients are like me, right? So I would always have my emails just saying, can you just tell me like how you felt about your appointment yesterday? You know, did you have a great time, or is there anything that you felt that we could improve? And then I left it up to them to reply or not, and not everybody does. But then it wasn't me asking them to rate things out of 10 or tick boxes and things like that. It was letting them have the freedom to actually tell me in their own words how they felt and what they thought. And the majority of feedback is really, really good. It was really, really good. And every now and then when we got something that wasn't, then we had the opportunity to deal with that. But by me giving people options to choose from in a survey, I felt like it didn't really give me the feedback that I wanted if there was something that was kind of negative, because it might have been something that I didn't even think of, if that makes sense. And if it's in a survey, then there's not really the opportunity to tell me that. So I've always tried to be very open to criticism of constructive and not happy people, etc. And it is hard in the beginning, but with practice you do get, I guess, okay with it. Like I don't really get emotionally affected by it anymore. I just see it as like, oh, there's an opportunity to do better, or oh my god, thank you so much, I'm so glad you love it. Like those are the options. So I hope that helped, but overall you should do what you feel is best for you. I like doing things like just really simply, and I like allowing people to tell me in their own words how they feel about things, rather than me directing or manipulating the conversation to go the way that I want it to, if that makes sense. And I have just learnt that through experience and practice over time. Awesome. I think that's everything that I had to cover. I think there was a couple of other like technical things, but I'm just actually not in the right mindset to talk about like technical Facebook ad type stuff today, so I will add them to another one if that's okay. Hey Sarah, and I wanted to tell you something actually that I'm doing for the first time today, tonight, this afternoon, which I'm very excited about, and I just felt like sharing it in case it kind of like inspires someone else to do the same thing. So because I live and work from home, and I always have, and I have a toddler, and I have a dog, and I have a cat, and I have a husband, all who's here all of the time, and me being someone who very much likes alone time in order to get my best thinking and my best work done, and undistracted alone time, it was the reason why I had my office at our last house in Sunnybank. After I had Jaden, I went and hired an office so that I could go to the office to actually have quiet, alone, focused thinking time without being interrupted by sounds or questions and things. However, we don't have that now, and I do have this studio that's separate to the house, but I can still hear things going on in the house. But I didn't want to hire another office again, but I've definitely been having that moment where I'm like, I need to get out of the house to do some work, like somewhere quiet, like not a cafe, like just by myself. And I don't want to hire an office again. And so I've decided, I'm like, well, what if I just go and stay at random Airbnbs, like either close to home, like in my same town that I live in, or like around this area, or even down to the Gold Coast, for like 1 to 2 nights, just whenever I need to. It doesn't need to be monthly, fortnightly, weekly, whatever. It's just like randomly whenever I feel like it. But specifically to get work done, to come up with ideas, and to record courses that I want to create, because there's about 5 or 6 different courses that I want to record right now or create right now, and I can't seem to get into the right focus point for the right amount of time to do it. So I'm going to my very first one today. It's not very far away from here, but like I'm so excited about it because I'm someone who has like such a high need for variety. I would get so bored of my office that quickly too, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to go back to the office, like it's the same place. So if I get to choose like a different Airbnb, like just randomly, let's say once a month, I don't know how frequently it's going to be, for like a night away by myself, or I don't even have to sleep there if it's not far away. I could just go there and then come home, but I'd probably sleep there just to have a solid night's sleep alone, until the next baby comes anyway. I'm going to make the most of that. But yeah, I'm really excited about it, and that way I get to like see all these new places and try out these new houses, and take pictures of them and take videos of them. And then I had the idea of like, oh, what if I became like an Airbnb blogger and I would like do little promotional videos for the Airbnbs and show how cool they are while I stay in them, and then get them more business, and then people would start paying me to go and stay in their Airbnbs. And then my entrepreneurial brain started going, oh, all the opportunities. But I'm going to start with just going there and getting the course done. Mulaney says, oh, my partner does that and he loves it. I hope it works for you. Oh, thank you. I'm really excited about it. And it forces me to take actually take it seriously, because I'm paying extra. Like I'm not paying super expensive prices though. Like this one's $100 and something. Like it's pretty cheap for a night. But if I look at that, like, well, I'm paying that to get this work done so that this work can make me X amount more, you know, then it's an investment, and I'm invested in actually getting the work done when I'm there. Whereas if I'm at home, I'm way more likely to be like, oh, you know, I don't feel like it today, or oh, I've got this other thing to do, blah, 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 blah. There's a noise there, it's distracting me, etc. So Tam said, I'm totally in sync right now, same problem. Sarah said, great idea. Angela said, where can we find more of your talks and or lives? Well, Angela, I would actually... all my videos from like the last 4 years are all over on my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed there, definitely go check it out. youtube.com/Carissa Hill Coach, or you can just go onto YouTube and search Carissa Hill. So many videos are there. And I'm committed to doing a live every Monday now in this group, because I was doing lots of them for a while and then I stopped for some reason, and I have to get back into it. Sarah says, is it possible to have a one-on-one or small group doing workshop in real life or face-to-face to set Facebook ads, etc. up? I just feel like I really need that initial walkthrough in real life. Well, if you are a member of my Wolfpack Mastermind, I only do in-person events for members of my Wolfpack. We are having 4 in-person event thingies next year. They'll all be around the Gold Coast area. People travel from internationally, like we've got clients in the UK, the US, New Zealand, and people come over, and the Gold Coast is such a nice place to have them because then people get a little holiday as well. So that's an option for you. Angela says, in addition of a course, did you think about writing a book? I have actually got 6 books, Angela, and they're all on my website. I update, actually, another announcement. I updated my website last night a little bit, and I realized that I've written 6 books. I didn't even know that I had 6 books, but they're all on my website now. For some reason, I had them not on the homepage of my website, so people didn't know that I had them there, and I'm like, stupid, feature them. They're all there now. So, how about taking on clients and have them sponsor your travel? Oh, that's cool. Susan said staying focused is one of my issues at the moment. Yes. Focus is important, and actually you should be so protective of your focus. Like, treat your focus as valuable as you treat your money. Be protective of your focus. Don't allow people to interrupt your focus. And if you can't like get away from it, like if you work in a shop or in a house or something where people are constantly interrupting your focus, then you have to either tell people, no, you can't do that between these hours and these days, or you have to remove yourself. And so that's another reason why I always have set up my businesses to run without me being in them or around other people, because my focus is probably the most important thing to me. And I know that if I'm in a room with other people, I can't help but I will talk to them. Like, I just will. I'll start a conversation. I'll think of something random. I'll share it. So I have to be alone, like alone to get my best work done. Cool. Okay, thanks guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any other questions, ask in the group. I'll be here next Monday. And until then, I will see you on Facebook. Or if you haven't checked out the Wolfpack Mastermind yet, definitely head over to wolfpackmastermind.com, fill it in, and get all the details. Thank you. Bye.